Well, the Idaho STEM Action Center provides externship opportunities for K-12 teachers throughout Idaho each summer and will begin recruiting for summer 2024 opportunities in January. The program's success is based on having educator and local business participation. The purpose of the segment and the one on November 13th is to highlight the benefits of the externship program for Idaho companies and teachers interested in using their STEM skills beyond the classroom. Now, here to talk about the Idaho STEM Action Center's externship program is an engineering instructor with Boise School District's D-Tech program, Courtney Smith, sixth grade science teacher with Sage Valley Middle School, Jess Young, CEO of Launder, Jennifer Meyer, watershed education manager for the City of Boise Public Works, Cindy Bush, and the executive director for Idaho STEM Action Center, Katie Salas. Thank you all so much for being here. And Katie, let's start with you with this first question. Tell us all about the Idaho STEM or Idaho STEM's externship program.
Yeah, so the Idaho STEM Action Center's externship program is actually a partnership, and it's a large partnership that we engage with the Workforce Development Council as well as Micron, and they help support this incredible program. It's a work-based learning program, and so what that means is it's experiential, and it's really designed around giving a window in to the world of work for today's educators. So we believe that long-term workforce development and building the workforce of tomorrow is dependent upon making sure that educators understand all of the opportunities that are available for their students once they exit the education system. And so the externship program is very special. It engages teachers in a work-based learning program over the summer where they actually go into an employer's place of work. They engage in a project, and we encourage employers to be able to give them a wide variety of experiences. So not just in that project, but showing them, human resources, showing them the financial side, showing them all of the different aspects so that when they can look at their students, they can say, hey, this might be a great opportunity for you.
Yeah, it really sounds like a win-win there. So who would you say should consider applying to next summer's externship program?
I would say any Idaho educator who is interested in helping their students find great jobs when they're out of their education. So on the educator side, we're looking for those passionate individuals that really want to learn more about what's going on in the world of work. For employers, we're looking at those employers, everyone in the past few years has had a tough time finding a qualified workforce. And we want those employers that are really interested in engaging in long-term workforce development. So they want to look at those students that are in K through 12 right now, and they see their future workforce. They want to take these experiences and these educators and show them the world of work so that they can help prepare their future workforce.
Gotcha. Almost like an incredibly beneficial summer camp for adult teachers, if you will. That's also benefiting students, of course. So with that being said, let's bring in those teachers, Courtney and Jess. So this is something you both have apparently done as of now. So as educators, what are some of the ways that you benefited from your extern experience?
I'll go.
Sure.
I went in thinking that it was going to be a great break, and it was a great, it's like a field, like you said, a field trip for teachers, kind of like, ooh, I get to teach in a different environment, or I get to learn something new. And so that's what I went in thinking, that that's what it was going to be about. And I did get that relief and that change of pace. But there was so much more, learning more about the ins and outs of industry, and learning, I feel like I've gained some credibility with my students, because I've never worked in any place in my adult life except for in a classroom. And being able to go into a chemistry lab and learn from chemists and then come back to my lab and say, okay, guys, guess what? This isn't just my role. This is the role. And this is not just how we do it here at Sage. This is how they do it everywhere. And just really having that experience for myself, but also for my students to know that, okay, she does know what she's talking about. So that was a big thing for me personally.
Great.
So,
Courtney, yeah, go ahead.
So same with me. I was able to, honestly, I didn't know what my expectation is going in, hoping to learn something that I could bring back to my classroom. And I think, I don't know if my experience was unique, but I felt from day one like part of a team. And Launder is a startup company, so that really interests my students in the engineering side of it, meaning they're always thinking, oh, I'm just going to graduate from college and make millions of dollars and be whatever it is. But it's a lot of work, and that's what I got out of it, is all the work that was involved with it.
Gotcha. So what would you say, at the risk of potentially repeating yourself, what would you say is the biggest or some of the biggest things that you learned there that you were able to apply into your classrooms?
I would say to start with a resume. It's been, like Jess said, it's been a long time since I've done another job besides teaching. Now I had to put my resume together and get ready to go. And that's probably one of the first things you sit down and talk to your kids about. All right, so you're going to go out and find a job or do something. We need to do this to start with. And then the experience that I got out of it, all the work that's involved that you would never really think about. You see these startup companies on the news and all this, but they don't show you the work behind the scenes. And that experience, to me, brings it into the classroom and able to talk to these students about it. They just love it. They're like, oh, wow, that's pretty cool. So not just hey, I've got a product, now I'm rich and can retire, but it's a lot of work.
Sure. Yeah, I experienced a lot of the same thing. I, right away jumped right in with the team as well. And I think that one of the things that was really exciting for me too is that behind the scene things. I don't think kids understand that it's not just the surface area stuff. I really just think that having that experience and being able to share with kids, okay, I worked right alongside with people who worked their way up from landscaping or whatever, janitorial or for, secretarial or whatever. And these people had a alternative pathway, and actually being able to share alternative pathways with my students is a really, really exciting thing too. Like, you have this interest, but maybe college isn't for you, which it isn't for everybody. It's all about choice. And having kiddos be able to see that, oh, okay, well, I really like this, but I'm not really sure college is for me. Oh, wait, I can still do that. I just have to take an alternate path. And it was exciting to be able to talk to those people and really learn from that. And besides that, the networking that happens, I have such a much larger piece of resources and knowledge about resources around the Treasure Valley just from working with the city and making contacts with people in my areas of interest. So that was another added benefit too that I just didn't expect.
Okay, so I feel like you both just answered my next question, but I'll throw it out there anyway. For any teachers who might be considering applying to this, what advice would you give them?
Do it. Like, seriously, do it. If you have any desire at all, if you have a tiny doubt in your mind, just jump in and do it. I tell you what, I've said this 100 times. If I've said it once, this is absolutely 100% the best professional development I have ever had. And I've been teaching for 25 years. I have never learned more. Do it. That's my advice. Do it.
And I would agree. Just do it. Honestly, if I could have done this is my 29th year, so if I could have done this 27 years ago and continued with it, I think the teaching in my class would be that much better. The experience that I got, I agree, better than anything that I've gone to ever. And the experience was awesome. And the people that I worked with, awesome. So it just made my experience super great. And you think, well, what am I going to get out of this? Is it really worth the time that I put into it in the summer? It is. And in so many ways, I probably won't know the impact that it has in my classroom for a couple of years down the line, just because of everything that pops up, everything that you do. The experience was awesome.
Awesome. Sold right there. Well done for both of you. All right. Well, let me get to Jennifer and Cindy now. How would you say, and let's start with Jennifer, how did participating in the extern program benefit your company?
So the deepest part of the help was having, when you're working with the same couple of people every day, you get a bit myopic, right? And you don't have any external voice or thought or idea. And so when Courtney came in, his experience was incredible to contribute, and his thoughts and of how we thought about solving problems. So it wasn't just, we had somebody who had a project and he came and he sat and he did his tasks. It truly was an interactive experience for us, where he truly contributed his knowledge and ideas, and was just a huge benefit to the team. I actually, wished that he didn't have to leave at the end of the summer.
Awesome. And Cindy?
So for us at the Watershed Education Center, we're kind of like the lens into our utility, which is water renewal services. And for us, I think Jess did so many things, such as improve our education programming and build the capacity for the number of groups and field trips that we could hold on site in the summer, which is a really busy time of year. But also she got a chance to network with over 80 professionals that work within water renewal services. And she got to job shadow and learn what they do in their career, and really kind of connected us to that. And our teaching staff benefited from that new knowledge that they just learned, and actually connected us professionally with folks that we work with every day, but we might not work in the same field. So we learned more about STEM careers in the city.
Again, very beneficial both ways. That's so cool to hear. Another question for both of you, and we'll start with Cindy this time. What types of things did Idaho STEM do to support your company in becoming that extern company?
So we've been a host for 4 years now, and I'd say every year has gone so smoothly because the STEM Action Center does a lot of the recruiting and vetting of the teachers ahead of time, and they actually select and provide us as a host 3 qualified teachers that would fit really well at our site. So all that legwork is taken out for us and just makes it so easy. We get the opportunity to interview those 3 teachers and select them. And so that piece was huge. They also hold a webinar to educate us on the program and offer a lot of support throughout the program as well.
Great. Jennifer?
She said most of how wonderful it was, but I do want to at least commend and think it's great to have advertising sources and promote it as much as you can, because there's so many people, companies out there who don't know that this exists and would love to take advantage of it. But I think that all of the training. I also liked that during the process that Courtney had to also kind of blog his time and what he learned, and which was beneficial to me too, right? Because then I kind of got feedback from my perspective as, oh gosh, I hope this is not just complete chaos and not structured enough for him. I did try to warn him when I interviewed him, but it's been incredible support from day one to today even.
Gotcha. Great. All right. Last question for both of you, and we'll start with Jennifer this time. How do you believe the extern program can help build those bridges between educators and the business community?
Well, for me, for the educators, but as Courtney and Liz, right? Sorry if I'm saying that wrong, but Jess, both said that the education that they're giving to their students and how that's going to impact the community, I think that it really just makes an entire network of the future of the kids and where they go to school and what they choose to do. But it's, I also offered to Courtney, I would be thrilled to come and talk to your classroom and tell them what it's like, and, that it's not a glamorous role at all. And so I think that just having relationships, created will benefit. And as Courtney said, it might take a couple of years to truly, see that benefit. But that's kind of what I think.
Yeah, I see the bridge as a teacher gains new networks and new experience out in their community. They can translate that back into the classroom, and everything they're learning can be brought back to, like, did you know that there's careers out there that utilize this science or this tech? It just makes it more real, and they can share a real experience with their students and give them suggestions for their career path. So as Jess mentioned, she met a lot of different employees in the city of Boise that had alternate career paths. Maybe they didn't attend college, but they got their start here at the city and worked their way up and gained training on the job. Or they went to a technical school and work here now at the water renewal facility. And I think it's great exposure for us as a city to get students aware that these careers exist, and then it helps to build our pipeline of our workforce in the city.
All right, sounds like such a wonderful program. So just for my very last question, I want to go back to Katie as the Executive Director of the Idaho STEM Action Center, and just any last parting thoughts on your externship program that seems so incredibly successful and beneficial.
Well, I just want to thank the Workforce Development Council and Mike Ron for their involvement and their partnership. I think it's such a special program, and any educator from anywhere in the state can participate, and any employer from anywhere in the state can participate. So this is really a statewide program. We can have educators from Bonners Ferry, we can have educators from Idaho Falls, and even virtual experiences are okay. So if you are an employer that really wants to host a virtual experience for some of our rural communities, that's something that you can engage in. Or, if you're an educator that wants to spend the summer in a different city, that's something that you can do as well. So I just can't say enough about the power of this whole program. It's one of my very favorite programs. And I hope we have a lot of new educators this summer. I hope we have a lot of new employers this summer, and I hope we keep our host employers as well. So I just want to invite everyone to participate and help build the future workforce for Idaho.
All right, fantastic stuff there. Joining me today to talk about the Idaho STEM Action Center's externship program has been engineering instructor with Boise School District's D-Tech program, Courtney Smith, 6th grade science teacher with Sage Valley Middle School, Jess Young, CEO of Launder, Jennifer Meyer, watershed education manager for City of Boise Public Works, Cindy Bush, and as we just heard from, executive director for Idaho STEM Action Center, Katie Salas. Thank you all so much for being here and talking about the great program you have going on.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.